Committee of Government Assurances and Implementations of Parliament is entrusted with the powers and the responsibility of following up on the promises or pledges of assurances given by government under our rules of procedure, Rule 179. And when we come to different areas, we are looking at the pledges made by government and the extent of implementation. So our duty here, especially specifically on this one, is about compensation. War claimants in West Nile, in Acholi, in Lango, in Sebei, in Karamoja, and in other areas. Of course, there are areas that are supposed to be compensated, but the President has not given guidelines. So we are looking at the criteria used, the names of those who are on the list, how much is going to be compensated, and what you said about some leaders who want kickbacks. Certainly that's corruption, and that is something that we are going to investigate. We have got documents from most of the representatives from the 13 districts that make up this sub-region, and we are going to follow up on them, and we are going to make a report to Parliament. But we know that government made this pledge, and it is its responsibility to fulfill the pledge.
What will you say about the demand that Parliament...
Our duty as a committee is to write a report, and that is part of the engagement, because members thought that instead of Parliament coming to northern Uganda, that money should be given to them. Our duty is simply to put that in our committee, and then Parliament will be tasked with the duty of considering that proposal by the members or the war claimants. So our duty is to gather all that information and to put it in the report.
There's also the issue of those who have
we need to work with the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, but you also need to work with the local leaders to verify, because if someone is coming from a particular LC1, a particular sub-county, the local council leaders must be able to identify that person. Someone should have an ID, someone should be able to go through the verification exercise. So we are going to make sure that we follow up as an oversight, because that is our duty, that is our role, and we will be working with the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Yesterday we met the Attorney General about these issues, and we will be following up with him again.
What's your view on the concerns raised in Arua today before your committee?
Certainly there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of frustration from the people, from the war claimants, because there's a group that has told us they have about 1,102 claimants, and 96 of those have died. It's frustrating for someone who should have benefited to not benefit, but it is also more frustrating if the family members of that person are also taking a lot of time to get this compensation. Yeah.